What's up, guys? Just finished week 56 of the trading challenge, trading from $100 to $1,000,000. Currently at 51.4k. Last week we were at 56.7, so we are down 5.3k again this week. Another red week. I did take a few trades this week, but they really, way too many trades and not even much profit. Pretty much it was just like make money and then lose money like the whole way. I might have made like a few hundred, but it's not even worth showing. Like it was legit make 200, lose 200, and it was pretty shit overall. This market is just so bad right now for pretty much anything. Um, so yeah, I'm not really gonna show these trades. You can see the ones I traded. Most of them were just break even or like slight gain, slight loss. Um, yeah, still holding Mog. Mog's obviously my main holding, and obviously it's down. The whole fucking market is wrecked, and then we just have some stables on Pulse Chain and some ETH. So yeah, I'll have a look at the overall markets, and that'll pretty much just be this video. So Mog, is down 80% right now from that high when we had 300k up here. Hoping this is some kind of bottom zone over here for pretty much the whole market, because obviously if we go much lower, it's just going to be destroyed. Um, but yeah, this is like 100 or 96 days of a dipping on Mog, which is pretty long. The longest dip was the Trump tariff shit, which was 126 days. So we should be finding a bottom roughly soon, unless it is completely over, which I don't think it is. A lot of people are saying that crypto's over, and Bitcoin's topped and all that. I don't think so, right? And we'll talk about that in a bit. But Mog obviously is down bad, like everything. Pepe is also down bad. We'll have a look at that. 2.7 or 8 mil, or billion, I mean, for the biggest meme of the cycle. That's so bad. Like, it is a head and shoulders, If we do break down and that head and shoulders plays out, I'll be amazed. But, um, you know, it looks dog shit. A lot of these charts look so bad, and it does look over, and it feels over as well, which is why it's like so shit. But you just gotta, if you're in, you're in. Like, that's just how it is. Either we go up or we don't. Um, but yeah, looks like shit. Everything looks like shit. So we'll have a look at Bitcoin and all that, and that'll legit just be it for the week. Nothing to really talk about. So, Bitcoin's obviously down to like 103k. In my opinion, we're completely fine as long as we hold the support. Where is it? Super trend. So as long as we hold this kind of level, like 96k, I think we're fine. We're still in that uptrend. It's still holding strong and all that shit. We just need to find a bottom around this 100k area, and then we're good to go. And there really hasn't been any indicators to show that this shit's topped. I always show the BTI indicator and Pi cycle. They're not even like close to topping. These are the two best indicators in my opinion for like a cycle top. BTI pretty much calls it every time, and then Pi cycle as well. Neither of them have spiked or showed in any indication of a top. Ethereum is obviously wrecked. It looks dog shit. It's down with everything else, and we just need this to make a bottom here. Obviously, like, it legit broke a trend line, and then when I retested it and rejected, it doesn't look good. But you zoom out, you go on like a monthly, like, it's pretty much just messing around at this all-time high before breaking up. And ideally, the next month or so will be bullish and it'll go up to all-time high. But we're just waiting at this point. Total 3 as well. Like, there's no way these charts top out like this, If we look at others slash BTC, but yeah, others BTC, like, people are really calling for a bear market here when you're already down for 4 years. Like, look at that shit. You've only went down on alts or the other shit, like, not the top coins. You're down 84%. And this isn't the start of a bear market, this is the bottom of a bear market, but people are saying it's the start. So it's like, what do you really think is going to happen? Like, in my opinion, we're not going to go lower than this. Obviously, you could go down and fill the wick or whatever, and it can still take another fucking year, but I don't think it's going to go below this zone, And also, like, recovering out of this trend line or this support level is very quick. you know, every time, like here to here was legit like a month. Here to here was 120 days. And if we get up to this zone, like that's your altcoin season, right? You need these little pumps aren't altcoin season, obviously we know that. But if we do something like that over the next like 3 or 4 months, then that's your fucking altcoin season. But yeah, it does look like we're going to go into 2026 for, you know, this cycle. And it's going to be a bit longer than all the others. I don't know how long. We're just here for the ride. And, you know, it is what it is. Bitcoin dominance as well. Like, that thing is making a big fat gravestone doji. You know, it could go higher. Obviously, the month isn't over. We still have like a few weeks. But for now, it looks bearish, you know. But we do actually want this kind of, not to go up, but like we need Bitcoin to go up, you know. So maybe dominance does go up for a little bit. You know, we do want Bitcoin to go all-time highs. Obviously, we don't want it to just be over, because when it's over, everything is. But yeah, like overall, obviously we had gold as well. I didn't show that. So if you're like in markets, you know, gold has been sending, and it's most likely topped out because there was so much hype on this thing yesterday that it's probably topped. All right, this thing was absolutely sending. Everyone was like talking about gold. People were lining up in real life to go buy gold. And, you know, this is probably the time to swap your gold into Bitcoin. Obviously, no one watching this has gold in Bitcoin probably, because you're probably on Pulse Chain or some shit. But yeah, like gold usually rotates into Bitcoin, or not really rotates, but there's you know, Bitcoin normally runs after gold, and that is where we are right now. Bitcoin's on the dip, gold's at the all-time high, and your idea is Bitcoin will pump from here, and then your altcoin season comes after. But yeah, that's really all we're at. We're at 51k, and you know, if we get that altcoin season, these coins will go back to their all-time highs. And if Morg Legit does a 2x on all-time high, we're pretty much $1 million on this account, which is like a 20x, which is crazy. But, you know, if we have an altcoin season, that's how it is. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all next week. And yeah, try not to get wrecked. Ta-ra.